Welcome to my morning report chart analysis videos on Wednesday the 6th of June with me, Richard Perry, market analyst at Hantec Markets. There is a slightly risk positive move going on in the markets. You've seen an underperformance of the yen, but also the dollar is just drifting away again. We've seen that dollar actually on the dollar index falling to a two-week low, and that's come as the euro has strengthened today. The euro has strengthened on the back of comments, suggestions out from the ECB that June is a live meeting in terms of talking about the end of the asset purchase program. Peter Pratt, the ECB chief economist, this morning also sort of reiterating that as well. So it's helped the euro boost higher, and it's through resistance band sort of 17.15 towards 17.50. So that is sort of breaking out to the upside now, and that's an interesting chart. I'll show you the technicals on that in a bit. But also we're seeing sterling higher. The yen underperformance continues. Dollar yen through 110 figure just marginally. That's a sort of near-term pivot as well. But the dollar generally, as I said, is underperforming. As risk appetite has improved, you've seen the dollar, the Aussie dollar, higher. You had better than expected GDP out of Australia. Also, commodity prices just sort of ticking higher as well. That's helping the New Zealand dollar and the Canadian dollar also pull a bit of an outperformance. But generally, the dollar underperformance is coming through that euro strength that we're seeing. It's interesting that we have seen Treasury yields tick higher, but you put that in the context of the fact that the bond yields quite strongly higher since yesterday, about 5 basis points, whereas the US 10-year yield is only a couple of basis points higher. Also, sterling outperforming as the UK gilt yields also sort of quite strongly higher as well. So that's generally what we're seeing today. Now, as I said, equity markets are just ticking positively high. You had S&P 500 just mildly higher, but also the futures are higher overnight. Asian markets are stronger, and that is again helping to sort of pull that these equity markets higher today. So that's what we have at the moment. Now, in terms of data points today, we've got the US trade balance this afternoon. Nothing really until then, I should say. Nothing really until that US trade balance this afternoon, expected to stay at $49 billion of deficit. Weekly crude stocks at EIA inventories, weekly crude stocks this afternoon, and that's expected to come in at minus 3 million barrels on the crude stocks, so a drawdown on those weekly crudes, and then also distillates at 1 million of build, and gasoline at 0.7 million of build as well. So yeah, lots going on today. Now my chart today is the euro Canadian dollar. Now, as I said, euro has been building higher, and this is an interesting improvement on the euro Canadian dollar, which is at a key sort of confluence of resistance. That big downtrend that we've seen since the mid-March highs is being seriously tested today. Tested yesterday, failed into the close, tested again today, but look at this reaction high that we saw a week or so ago, 52.25, is being broken, and if the market closes above that, I would say that that completes a small base pattern, and you could then start to argue about sort of around about 225, 230 pips of upside, which brings you back towards the sort of 54.50 area. 154.50 area, which again, that would be around about where that old pivot is as well. So a rebound towards that old pivot could well be on if we see a closing break of that. But look at these momentum indicators, they are pulling the market higher. The RSI has already confirmed a breaking of the downtrend. The MACD lines have crossed higher, the stochastics are accelerating higher. This is a key point at which the market certainly seems to be calling on the momentum indicators for a breakout. So the euro is strengthening against the Canadian dollar. So this is a key factor we're seeing on the hourly chart as well, whereby you're seeing a more positive configuration across the hourly momentum indicators. That RSI picking up around the mid-40s to 50, the MACD lines picking up around neutral, crossing back higher again. The stochastics have just crossed higher. This looks like a decent run higher that's beginning to sort of gather momentum now. So euro against Canadian dollar seems to be turning that corner. and certainly a small base pattern would complete above 52.25 on a closing break. So with that in mind, I wish you good luck in your trading today, and I'll speak to you later.